Come on in, honey. Sit on down.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
I know it's a Friday night.
I know.
We are so happy that you guys are joining us. We're just trying to figure out what day of the week works well for everybody's schedules. So thank you, because we're getting ready to get it in with this conversation.
We are?
I was talking to a friend, and he said, I'll never be anybody's third husband. And it
I
got
can
to
understand
me.
that,
Well, yeah, I can, but it could be circumstantial.
Absolutely.
So, how many marriages is too many? How many marriages is too many? Like, some of us have already been married before, and for those of you who have not, if you meet somebody, like,
if you meet someone and that person says, hey, I'm divorced, and you're like, oh, great, me too. And then somehow in that conversation, the guy says, I've been divorced 4 times. You're going to take a pause.
yeah, I know I would.
Because at the end of the day, the common denominator in you and all these marriages, failed marriages, is you.
That's
Let's
right.
do the math though.
I just did the math.
No, there exists a scenario. I mean, your first love, you marry that person, that doesn't work out. Then, at our age, you have 2 wives that die on you.
We say divorce.
And then I'm going to think you're a murderer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
2
but-
wives.
So you think I got like Black Widow
At 50,
syndrome?
at 50, okay, so I'm 56. Even at 60, you had 2 wives die on you. Now, if you were at 80,
I know
thinking,
someone who's a
maybe
very good friend who's had 2 wives die.
That's fine.
he's a murderer.
But I'm just saying, in my scenario, I said divorce. So you didn't change the math. You changed the whole problem.
But we're talking about marriage. And
No,
marriage
I'm telling you. Now you may not want to address it, but what
Okay.
I said
is
simply
divorces.
was, if you meet someone and they say, "I've had 4 wives,"
That's a lot.
right? I've been divorced 4 times, and you said, "Let's do the math." And I'm telling you, I'm talking about right now 4 divorces. For me, if someone says I've been divorced 4 times, I am going to think,
Yeah. Then
Right.
that I agree with you. I'm going to say the common denominator is you, and that you are a serial divorcer,
well,
No.
man, it could be that.
a serial,
I'm gonna listen.
and that you don't take marriage. 5 wives.
Curiosity is going to.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna
gonna listen because I want to know.
I'm
Yeah.
going to ask, what was the reason why you got divorced? I met somebody who was married twice, and I wanted to know what was the reason why that person was married and divorced twice.
Yeah.
So I do think that, but 5, although I do know.
Well, 4. It would be 4.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. So I have someone in my family, and I did tell you how I would feel personally initially,
Mm-hmm.
but I do know someone who has been married and they're on their 6th wife,
And so,
and
Okay.
they've been married for way longer than any of the other previous wives, and I really believe that it has a lot to do with timing and the person. I think that when you meet the right person, they can bring out a different side of you. I'm not saying this is for everybody, but I'm saying that I do know a success story, which makes me say I can't just throw all the eggs in one basket and just say, okay, this person is a serial, divorcee, or this person, doesn't really value the institution of marriage. But for me, personally, I feel like I wouldn't want to be anybody's 3rd wife either, simply because it's really nothing special at that point.
Yeah.
And when I meet people and they say, oh, this is my husband and this is my wife, you have a certain level of respect immediately when someone tells you this is my
and they put that
husband
title,
or wife.
my anything.
Exactly.
This is my best
But
friend,
if
my
you're-
boyfriend, my fiance.
you're friends.
There is a level of respect with
Yeah.
a positive title.
But the 3rd wife, the 4th
Yeah,
wife, they're
no.
going to be like, that's your girlfriend.
Yeah,
In your mind.
and then people are going to be dismissive and like, well, she won't be
Absolutely.
around long, so
Couple
we'll
things.
just wait.
For number 5.
Couple things. Certain people are just the marrying type. They're always going to be somebody's spouse
That's true.
or headed in that direction. So, this might be my turn.
Turn like a doorknob.
I want a shot.
Hey, put me in,
I
coach.
just,
Put
to
me
me,
in.
a person who's been married repeatedly, like 5, 6, 7 times, doesn't take marriage seriously. it's like, it's almost like dating. It's not the ultimate commitment. It's, to me, it's you are, and now that is, it, like I said, it's circumstantial. It could be, maybe you were married at 17, at 21, you were like, okay, we're too young, I want to live my life. And then maybe a spouse died. But I think that a person who's been married multiple times and just feels like, oh, I haven't found that one. I just feel maybe are you not even trying to, some people use, just like some women use abortion as birth control, I think some people use marriage as, okay, we're like
breaking up.
Yeah, it's like, it's like just the elevator relationship. Let's go to the next level. We're dating, so let's just go to the next level. But you're not really ready for that. But they just do it because they feel like this is the next level in dating. When really it's supposed to be for life.
Do we
Says the divorce
appreciate? Do we appreciate?
Are you crying?
Yes. Yes. No, but do we appreciate the person that says, well, you know what? I'm gonna just keep working at this until I get it right. Do we respect the fact that they're not a quitter?
I mean, they are a quitter.
Home.
If you've been divorced a whole bunch of times, you have quit on the marriage.
Several times.
So it just means that you're still playing the game. People can do what they want to do with their lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's your life, and you want to get married 10 times. That's up to you. But the person who says I do to you, you have to look at them and just say, what do they really want out of this? I mean, patterns mean something. Statistics mean something. And if you go into a marriage with someone who says, I've been divorced 4 times, either you think you are golden, you got the magic touch, or you are just willing to gamble because you want to be married.
I agree with the patterns mean something. Patterns of behavior. Some people,
Yeah.
they will recreate this life for themselves that is yearly. It is the same pattern of behavior, but they're just switching out the people, just taking out one person
Interchanging
out of the
people.
picture frame and then putting in another person.
Yep.
It's just the same thing.
It's the same play with different characters. Different people playing the roles.
What? What are you going to say?
I get it, but I mean, I know a scenario where, man, I believe in love, let me say that. So if I were divorced, and I know a scenario where people that were married were so bitter with that marriage that they vowed never to get married again.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know how many shots you're going to get at happiness. So, I mean, hopefully you get a lot of shots, or, one that really works really well. But if you, in the event that you don't, your approach has to be pragmatic, and it has to be over a couple people. I don't know that it's okay to preclude that, hey, I won't get married again, or 5 or 4, because numbers are arbitrary. Some people, when we were growing up, one was too many. When we got to a certain age, we realized that, man, okay, you can, you tried it, it didn't work, let's try to make our thing work.
I agree with you. I think that, the quest for love and the quest for companionship doesn't have to dwindle away because one marriage or 2 marriages
Or 3.
or 3 didn't work out. It's your life, and if you want to be with someone and share the rest of your life with them, keep looking for it. Keep saying I do, damn it. Whatever. I'm just saying, for me, I'm going to listen to your story to see if there's something that sounds anything like truth and not BS.
Mm-hmm.
But I probably wouldn't go down the aisle with someone who has had.
Would you date, if you met a guy,
Probably
if you
not.
were not in a relationship right now, if you met a guy and he says, I've been married 3 times, would you date him?
Probably not. I'm just gonna say no.
Yeah.
And it's just for me though. I'm not saying that he's not dateable, and I'm not even saying he's not.
You don't have to put a disclaimer on there,
Yeah.
but you would.
But
And why,
I wouldn't.
Hang on. Why would you not?
Unless the story was, the wives, I don't know, maybe were drug addicts, or I don't know, one robbed a bank or something that just was like, okay, I see why you left her. You know what I mean? But I would probably say no. But here's another example. Let's say you're on wife number 3 and you had kids from the previous marriages. She's perfect. And then you come home one day and your kid has a black eye. He's like, stepmama hit me. She may have to go. For me, if it was me, I would be like, yeah, it's a wrap. So if something like out of the blue happens and you like, I can't put you ahead of my children. I'm not going to traumatize my children. You know what I mean? You
So
gotta
it would
know.
have to be a good reason
It
why
would
this
have to
person was
be-
divorced 3 times.
Yeah, but here's the truth of the matter. Latent defects in people, like property, they don't manifest themselves until, after a while. You don't see everything.
And that was going to
up
say,
front.
and then that's why
And
you
they don't
should
disclose
take your
everything.
time and get to know a person.
Yeah.
Because if I met a person who'd been married 3 times, we can be friends. But I think you should state your intentions. And, if my goal is to get married again, you would not be the candidate, or that person would not be the candidate for me. A person who's been married 3 times? Absolutely not.
I get that no one is going to probably lead with that. Like, hey, do you know that I've been married 4 times?
But they should. Though.
But here's the other part of it. So in that situation, that person discloses to, and I want to ask both of you others, that person discloses that to you at some point in the relationship. Do you tell that person?
That should be early in the relationship.
Okay,
It shouldn't be at some point.
I'm not going to get hung up on that. Okay, it's early on. Maybe
Okay.
not first, but early.
Okay.
And the person discloses that to you. Do you tell that person that I can't see you because of these things, or do you just ghost that person?
I wouldn't ghost anybody because I think that's immature and disrespectful. So I would just say,
That's too much for
I
me.
like you,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think we're compatible. And if they ask why, I would be honest and say why. Okay, so y'all know I'm old. I thought I had my D&D on, but clearly I do not.
I'm like, that's not my phone.
I
So,
was just glad it was.
Sorry about that.
I'm sure.
I know you are here.
I would definitely take the route that Kim is talking about. I would just let them know this is not for me.
This is going to not go.
Yeah, I wish you the best, but I can't even pass that person along in good conscience. I wouldn't do it. It's just not.
Yeah,
it's just
I
not something I
couldn't-
would entertain.
I could not. I mean, it would be a disservice to myself and to that person to not be totally honest and say, yeah, we're not a good match.
And keeping that person around as a friend, I don't even know if that's fair to them because that person did like you.
Right, and
You know
had
what I mean?
intentions on
And
dating.
exactly.
That's
So
true.
it's not
That's
really
very
a
true.
friend. It's something that's just lingering around.
That's
and
true.
They're hoping that they can
That's
change
true.
their mind.
Sort of
It
land
just
and
wouldn't be
wait.
worth my time.
Sort of land and wait.
Exactly. That whole platonic but not platonic relationships,
That's
yeah,
right.
friendships, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It's just a lot for me. I think that, it's almost like running around the world with a scarlet letter on your forehead when you've been divorced that many times. It kind of seems just comical.
I have a good friend who's been through a number of marriages.
I'm not saying that and I
And-
hope that he is in one
What's a good number?
that works. I'm just saying that
The killer?
No. No, he's
not the killer.
he's been through 3. And I often joke with him and tell him that you are always going to be somebody's husband. He is just really that guy.
He
I think
likes
that
to
he
be that.
loves marriage. He loves the
And that's a
stability.
beautiful thing.
He loves I know who my New Year's Eve date is going to be. And he loves building. And I mean, he's really, really good at it.
Well, research shows that men, emotionally and as far as health, they benefit from marriage more than women. So I can see that.
I could definitely believe it.
Yeah.
And so is he married now?
No, but I mean, I
He's
see.
still searching for
Right,
one.
I know I'm gonna have to rent a tuxedo soon.
How old is he? How old is he?
He's our age. He's in his mid to late 50s.
Hey,
You're
does he-
joking, but you will rent a tuxedo soon.
Does he have big weddings? I mean, does he go all out or does he go to the courthouse?
It's been a little bit of both. He's had
I was just curious.
he's had 2 really big ones, and then his last one was it was a destination wedding, so it was cool.
Okay.
The next one, he should just go to the Justice of the Peace in Vegas and forget the hoopla and worry about the marriage itself.
It depends. I mean, if you're marrying somebody for the first time, for a lady, sometimes that's, I want this. I've always dreamed about that. I always wanted this. Now, there does, probably need to be some adjustments. Maybe you don't need 10,000 doves flying away as you say I do. But I mean, for women, that's something, that's one of those landmark days: prom, marriage, graduation.
It is. I agree.
Listen, I was my last client today. I was talking to her, and she's recently divorced, and I asked her, "What if you met someone and you guys were having this initial conversation, and you realized that each of you were divorced, and he disclosed to you that he's had several wives, like 4 or 5? What would you do?" She was like, "What the hell?" She said she would probably ask too, like, what happened? And even if she gave him the benefit of the doubt, even if she could make sense out of it, she said she would always be like listening and looking for something like to be wrong. And inevitably,
While they're dating?
because in the back of her mind, you've divorced 4 times. She would be thinking that
it's him.
it's inevitable for it to happen again, and she would be listening and looking for the reasons of why these things happen.
I can see
Almost like self-sabotaging the relationship anyway. So I just, I wonder, like, the woman that says "I do" to your friend, how she would feel. Like having a big, even if it was her first wedding, and she wanted something, because, women want big weddings. And she did that. Would she really feel safe and secure every day? You know what I mean? Like, I'm his wife. You know what I mean? Would she feel? I wouldn't either. But would she's saying "I do." And somebody will say "I do," because there are a lot of women that just want to be married and they don't care about the circumstance around it.
That's very true.
Or we get to a point in our lives where, that does become priority, being married, and we are willing to say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna expect the same level of perfection in this that I bring to it.
Mm-hmm.
Kim don't feel that way. I can see that. I got the look away and everything.
No, I mean, like, so at what point do men feel like, oh, I think I'm ready to get married now? I know that's not really the topic, but you kind of segued into that. So at what point do men say, you know what, let me let go of all my people who are on the rotation for the "Good Morning Beautiful" text. Let me let that go and figure out who I want to settle down with.
Right, when they get diabetes and,
BD.
Let me
Go
say-
ahead. That's his name. That's my clean way of saying the dick don't work, but go ahead.
Let me say this. I've seen it happen a lot of different ways. I've seen it where I saw a guy where he went through some things. His mother had some health challenges and eventually left life.
Mm-hmm.
And he appreciated the way that his then girlfriend took care of him, looked after his wife, and it made him feel complete.
But
and
is
I
that
think
based
that
on
the loss of the mom also factored into, I need to have a family. I need to make sure that I have a family. I've seen it happen that way. I've seen it to where there's no logical or plausible explanation, but a switch just goes off. I mean, this person will date 3 or 4 or 5 people that are all probably very marriage worthy, and then all of a sudden they'll just be like, man, the next one is going to be Miss So-and-so. And it happens that way.
I don't know if I would feel safe and secure if my person wanted to marry me at that point because of a trauma bond. Because the way that switch just went off, they're like, wow, she's a really good catch. She took care of me. I was grieving so badly. Well, once they finally grieve and they feel like they're healing, that switch may go, and then where am I?
Here's the thing today.
What would make you want to get married?
Somebody to capture my imagination. I mean, I love that infatuation, that first time when you start going out with a person and you meet them and you're thinking about them and you want to be with them, and when you're not with them. I love that. Somebody to...
That's the honeymoon phase.
Okay, but somebody to capture that in my heart, and then for me to have an opportunity to see those things, or to see that person and be like, man, I'm ready to chase that. I want that again. I want to spend the rest of my life with this person. I want to invest. I no longer want to rent. I want to own.
The honeymoon phase is a real thing, but I certainly believe that you can recreate your honeymoon phase over and over and over and over again. It does not have to die. It does not have to be something of the past. It's about keeping it spicy and investing into your relationship.
I agree with that.
Making deposits. I mean, it's the only way that the bank account grows, really, for real.
I agree.
I totally agree.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, yes.
I love what
did.
you said.
You
Capture
did.
your imagination.
You did.
And I love that you love the newness of dating and, you know, the spontaneity and all that good stuff. It's beautiful. But it's work to keep that going. You can't get
It is.
complacent. And if you do, you need to be able to self-regulate and say, I'm tripping. I'm not doing any of the things that I was doing to make this happen. You still have to do those things.
Well, and I think that, you know, you bring up that point, one of those foundational things that we always talk about, which is communication.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if you're not able to self-regulate, your mate is able to tell you, and you hear it, that, hey, you know, we used to do this, or, you know, used to call me, or, you know, you used to do these things, and you're no longer doing those things. And for you not only to hear it, but to act on it, to make it actionable.
Yeah.
Because I think that all too often, you know, I don't think that people just go into, you know, dead silence. I think that there is a communication, there's a recommunication, and if that recommunication is not acted on, that's a problem.
Yeah. And it's not just a one-way street, because the person, your mate may say, hey, we aren't doing these things like you said, and, you know, we used to do this. When you look in the mirror, you can say to yourself, am I doing everything that I used to do too? And it's probably going to be no. So you have to self-check as well. Not just check your mate, but check yourself.
I would definitely
I would
agree.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I would definitely
agree.
agree.
I mean, although you do have to give your relationship room to evolve, because it's not going to be the same in year 1 as it is in year 3.
Absolutely.
It could be better though. It could be better, and it's not just
If you grow together, yeah.
the honeymoon phase will eventually wear off, because you'll go through things. You need to see a person when you're vacationing with them. You need to see a person when you're angry, when you guys have had a falling out. You need to see how they respond to situations. It's not just and having some good costumes in the bedroom. It's more than just that. So
I definitely agree with that, and I think that all too often we do become complacent. We do not communicate or assume that somebody knows because they always knew. And there has to be, to your point, there has to be an evolution. There has to be we started here, we're trying to get here. What does that look like? How does that work?
Yeah. But you know, I mean, you made a good point though. You know, like how people react in certain situations. Again, going back to the analogy of a latent defect. Sometimes you don't know how they're going to react because you never had that situation to react to, right?
Right.
Even more so, sometimes they don't know how they're going to react because they've never been faced with that situation ever before. Not just in your relationship, but in any relationship. So people, I don't know, they are still learning themselves sometimes. Even when you
And
think you
people
know
respond
yourself
to
really, really well.
Well, and you respond to different people differently.
Yeah.
So,
True.
You know, so, I mean, way off topic, but I just want to know since you
Yeah.
brought something up.
No, I
That's good stuff though.
definitely.
Yeah. Good stuff even in the 5th marriage.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine.
I couldn't imagine. But I wish that person well.
If I believed in marriage like that, and I do, I would keep trying.
You'll
until
keep trying?
Yeah, because I mean, I you know,
And I'd be cheering you on. Go, 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 Gary, go.
no more weddings though. But you know, you can call me when it's all said and done.
I know people, the natural evolution of life is to have a companion. It's, you know, everybody wants companionship. Like some people want more than one companion, but I think some people settle down because they just want companionship. They're maybe not necessarily ready for the ultimate commitment. They just figure, well, I'm at this age, my health isn't the greatest, and I don't want to die alone, which is understandable because I don't really think anybody wants to go out all by themselves, you know. But I think people want companionship. So which is the reason why if one marriage ends, they're just like scrambling, let me find another, because they're just don't want to be alone.
Yeah, I mean, I do have friends a little older than me, but they want the companionship. They do not want the marriage. They don't want, and these are women, they don't want,
Is that really the truth, or do they just say that they don't want the marriage?
I've
because the marriage
qualified
isn't-
this person, interrogated this person, peeled the banana down to the flesh to get to the.
She doesn't want
She
it.
does not want it. To the point that she's even put all of her stuff in place, you know, so that when that time comes and you got to check out of this joint, everything is good. It's not like I need somebody. Everything is going to be taken care of. And she just wants to be able to go to the movies with someone, maybe travel with someone,
That sounds great. to me.
maybe have some sex with this one person, but you go home after we're done. And I was like, oh, you a G, Lord have mercy. But yeah, that is really her headspace.
And
Don't
he's,
fall asleep.
and he's sitting there like
No
Eddie Murphy
cuddling.
and Boomerang.
Exactly. And I was like, are you really for real? She was like, I'm dead serious. This is what I want. And I said, you wouldn't want to spend like holidays. She was like, we can do things like that, but I don't want you to get.
Has she ever been married before?
She has.
Okay, well I can understand
Yeah.
that. I can see that, cause
Married for a long time, divorced.
I'm not desperate to get married
Yeah.
either. I believe in marriage. I think marriage is beautiful when you're married to the right person, and I want to be married again. But I'm not like, oh,
Anybody.
lift up that cup. Let me see if he's under there. I don't feel like that at all.
Right.
I'm
No.
like good.
First of all, we're way too picky.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I'm not letting you get away with that. You know what you want.
Yeah,
okay,
I
that
do.
too.
That's
I do
it.
know what I want.
Yes.
But believe me, you, I'm picky.
Nah.
And I feel like when you find your person and they don't, all the little things that bother you about people, because there are things that bother me about people.
Me too.
When you find someone and they just mesh with you and it feels good and natural,
Yeah.
hold on to that one.
Yeah.
Hold on to that one.
Yeah. We need to have shows on. We need to have conversations about dating faux pas. Because I have
Many.
people- Yeah, like I have.
We'll save that for a different
Yeah,
show.
like what the? Yeah.
Well,
But at
we-
any rate.
we know that I probably have made every mistake at least 3 times.
I can see that. But you learn. That's it. That's the
We're hoping
important thing.
that I've learned.
Well, you said last week, I think, that you were actually ready for marriage.
Yes.
And I felt like you wouldn't have said that had you been in the headspace like I haven't learned any lessons from the past. Then, you know, that would be like crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So, if you know what you've done wrong and you know what you want, common sense says don't do those things again. Now, you might be fighting your alter ego, you may be fighting the flesh, but that makes you human. But you still have to, you just have to fight the fight and put more fight than flight into the game. And then I think you'll win. You'll get your prize in the end.
That is definitely the goal.
Yeah.
When you get married, I'm gonna be there front and center.
What are you saying?
I was saying.
If anybody wants to object,
Look at this!
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh! Oh yeah.
No, I'm gonna have you for the people that object.
I'm not objecting.
No, I know you won't object, but I know that you won't let anybody say, hey.
Right.
Oh.
You didn't got this far, y'all.
Yeah, I will definitely be front and center cheering you on.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that was a good topic, guys.
No, that's a good topic.
Yeah.
Great show.
Something that could be potentially a red flag for some, maybe a green light for others.
Or yellow.
Or
Yellow, but I don't see how it would be green.
but that's the unique thing about the world.
Because you know what? You're right. Because there are some people who have been married so many times. I'm thinking of one celebrity in particular who has been, divorced 3 times, I think, and wrote a book, a movie, and all that. And everybody respects his opinion. I adore him. So, comedian. But I just feel like, so it could be a green flag. You're right. Just because it's not a green flag for me doesn't mean it's not a green flag for someone else.
Absolutely.
Liz Taylor was married 7 times, and twice to the same person.
Well, people just considered her so uber beautiful, they just couldn't get past that.
I mean, I
That's
saw her.
That's my
She
personal.
wasn't always uber beautiful. It was some times when, you know, like,
Okay,
wow.
let it go.
Let it go, right?
Stop it. Right
Leave
there.
her alone.
I mean, God rest her soul, but I mean, she was certainly beautiful in her youth.
Let it go. Had to get that.
Yeah, I know.
So, anyhow, I don't know when we're going live again. We'll figure it out
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
and let you guys know. Thank you so
Thanks
much
for tuning in. We
hanging
appreciate
in on
you.
a Friday night. We appreciate it. We love you guys.
And we will see you next week
Yes.
with
yes,
a brand
we
new
will.
topic.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to read the
Conversations
comments.
Over Her. Go into the YouTube channel, Conversations Over Her, and subscribe so we can go live from YouTube.
Next
Y'all can get
week.
all the tea on all the platforms.
I think we were like at 96 the last time I checked, so we need 4 more subscribers.
We need more, way more than that.
Yeah, but to go live, we
Yes.
only need to 100.
Yes.
All right, guys, we appreciate you.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good week.